Foreign is one of the most famous rulers of Egypt. Many interesting legends prevail about her reign. After her death, the queen left behind amazing secrets and artifacts. More than 1,500 years before the reign of Queen Elizabeth I in England, Cleopatra proved that women are capable of ruling nations and that they can do so with intelligence, grace, and even cruelty. But how much of what we know about the Queen of the Nile comes from made-up stories that have been popularized? It is true that fiction is oftentimes better known than facts, and it is the facts that become surprising and start to feel like fiction. In today's video, we'll try to figure out what is true and what is fiction when it comes to Cleopatra's life. Last fall, Israeli archaeologists carried out excavations in the National Park of Jerusalem. They came across an interesting artifact, an amethyst seal that was about 2,000 years old. It was decorated in the image of a biblical tree, according to the legends. The tree's fruit was made to make balms and perfumes for the famous queen Cleopatra. The artifact could have belonged to Cleopatra herself. Scholars believe that the depicted tree is a type of persimmon. In ancient times, the fruit was extremely expensive and was used to make incense. Some scholars believe that it was common to present that specific type of persimmon to Cleopatra as a gift. The fruit was used to make a special balm which changed the queen's appearance to make her look younger and more beautiful. This artifact can change history. If we can find the specific species of persimmon, or at least cultivated artificially, scientists might be able to create a rejuvenation treatment which would influence the future of humanity and the planet. Another no less interesting artifact that can also change history is Cleopatra's tomb. In fact, to this day, nobody knows for sure where the legendary queen is buried. Her burial site has never been found. This is surprising because archaeologists were able to locate the burial sites of pharaohs who ruled long before Cleopatra. Still, there have been serious advances in Cleopatra's case. Scholars may soon be able to announce a grand discovery. In 2020, an international team of archaeologists released preliminary data from the study of a closed tomb and the ancient Egyptian city of Tapisiris Magna. 2 gilded mummies were found in a tomb, one of which may belong to the queen. The first clue is that during excavations of the site, the head of a statue depicting Cleopatra was discovered. Secondly, the mummies were originally covered with gold leaf, which indicates their very high social status. Thirdly, the gold coating of one of the mummies had an engraved image of a beetle, which is a symbol of royal power. Finally, the remains of what are believed to be Cleopatra's ancestors have already been found in Tapisiris Magna. These and other factors indicate that it is the queen's mummy that was found. If it is in fact true, then we will soon be able to learn even more about the queen. For example, we will be able to find out Exactly how she died after all. Historians are still debating this. We might be able to find out how Cleopatra actually looked in general. This queen's life is very unusual, mysterious, and interesting. It is known that Cleopatra committed suicide. She did it to avoid becoming Octavian's prisoner after Egypt was conquered by Rome. According to the most popular version of the story, Cleopatra killed herself with the help of a poisonous snake. The queen's faithful servants brought her a basket of figs in which a poisonous snake lay. The snake bit Cleopatra, who died shortly afterwards. According to another version, Cleopatra took poison which was hidden in her golden hairpin. Modern scholars believe that the cause of Cleopatra's death was not a snake bite but a poisonous mixture of opium, hemlock, and aconite. Such a mixture results in death within a few hours without any pain and without a change in the person's appearance. Since Cleopatra cared about her looks very much, it is unlikely that she would have subjected herself to the long agony or snake bite marks on her body. In any case, Cleopatra's death continues to be a mystery to this day. Everyone knows that Cleopatra was beautiful. This is how she is depicted in films, cartoons, and books. Most of us learned about the queen from exactly these type of works. According to popular culture, Cleopatra was so beautiful that men were ready to give up their lives just to spend one night with her. This is a very interesting story, but entirely untrue. It is doubtful that she was some incredible beauty. A few years ago, scholars examined a 2,000-year-old coin that was found in 2007. The coin and several other archaeological finds depict Cleopatra's image. They revealed that Cleopatra was a completely ordinary looking woman who clearly did not possess any kind of supernatural beauty. She was short, plump, and had a large, long, and wide nose, big eyes, and narrow lips. Despite all this, she was able to charm everyone. But how? The secret is Cleopatra's sharp mind. She was described as an incredibly smart and talented woman who spoke persuasively and confidently and knew a lot about astronomy, philosophy, mathematics, and linguistics. Cleopatra knew 7 to 10 foreign languages. Therefore, there were no translators at her court. Cleopatra was not only smart but also an innovative woman. She had a huge influence on cosmetics of her time. Even modern women continued to use her personal care methods. Foreign. Cleopatra was good at chemistry, which is why she was able to know a lot about different substances. For example, she knew that honey had antibacterial properties, which is why she regularly applied it to her face. She applied rose water in order to keep her skin soft and clean. Interestingly, this ingredient is part of many modern facial tonics and cleansers. Among other things, Cleopatra was well versed in perfumery. She believed in the power of fragrance not only as a beauty product but also as an instrument of political persuasion. Legend says that Cleopatra doused the sails of her ship in perfume before going on her first date with Mark Antony in order to make sure that he smelled her before he saw her. She also owned a perfume factory, which seems odd for a queen. However, if you can't seem to find the scent you're looking for, it might make sense just to open your own factory. Cleopatra even wrote down her perfume recipes in a book that unfortunately got lost. It is possible that it perished in the Alexandria library fire. Cleopatra considered herself to be the new Isis, telling her subjects that she was the incarnation of Isis on earth. Not to be left out, Mark Antony also claimed to be the incarnation of Osiris. This does not mean that Cleopatra was devoted only to Isis. She was known to play the role of whatever god has suited her best at the time. For example, when she sailed on her perfume ship towards Mark Antony, she was dressed as the goddess Venus. Young boys dressed as cupids and maids dressed as sea nymphs were waiting for her. Cleopatra was a big spender. She squandered huge sums of money incredibly fast. She once bet Mark Antony that she could spend 10 million sesterces on one meal. That's equal to about $10 to $20 million today. She then asked for a modest meal. When her servants brought her a cup of vinegar, she took a pearl out of one of her earrings, threw it into the vinegar, and watched it dissolve. She then drank the vinegar, thus proving that she would do anything to win a bet. For a long time, modern scholars were skeptical of this story. But then they conducted an experiment. They tested the theory with real vinegar and a real pearl. The experiment confirmed that vinegar really does dissolve the calcium carbonate inside pearls, but it would probably take more than a day for the pearl to dissolve entirely. Friends, that's all for today. Like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.